is real.
Get up, get up, get up.
It's about to go down.
Newsflash. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Slacking on your pimpin', turn it up.
You know, if you're gonna shoot, you better shoot straight because a wounded animal is the worst thing you can deal with.
Facts.
Welcome to the Baller Alert Show, featuring your lifestyle specialist, Kenny Burns, with Sue Solo and Ferrari Simmons.
The dream is real.
Okay.
It's your lifestyle specialist, Kenny Burns.
Kid Ferrari Simmons.
Your favorite Ethiopian Sue Solo. Yes. See, that was all refreshed and stuff, right? You heard it? It was refreshed. I know.
Sound great.
You sound refreshed. You sound like you back from vacation.
Yeah,
Yes.
hello. I love the way you set that up.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, how was it?
It was great.
You ain't go to Chicago.
Wait.
No, I didn't go to
Wait,
Chicago.
she said,
Yeah.
that's how you feel?
The IG story looked lit.
It was beautiful.
Just
It was-
was like,
hot over
yo,
there.
where's little
was really
sis? Is she in
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi or something?
I was in Monte Carlo, Monaco, and you know it's so small over there. But like you can go to like Nice in 2 seconds, and
Yeah.
you can go to Monaco, and then even though Monaco is like all France, it's a part of France. The way that they talk about it, they talk about it like it's separate.
Yeah.
So one street you're in Monaco, you just hop over to the yellow road, and you're now in France. It was cool. It was beautiful.
That's where they do the Grand Prix and things of that nature.
Oh yeah, Grand Prix, Casino Royale, where 007 happened. My hotel was right there.
So who'd you go with?
I went with Bay. It was a vacation.
Oh, you went with Bay. Oh, so we out here now.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I mean, we've been out here.
I mean, I'm just saying.
We've been out here.
But how was the food, though?
Yeah,
You a big critic
So
of food?
y'all know I love.
No, because Sue
I
quick to
eat.
be like,
Yeah.
that tastes like I made it.
Yeah, no, I eat. So obviously they're on the water, so you go for seafood. The salmon was like the best salmon I ever had in my life. It was super good. I didn't eat anything crazy heavy because there was a lot of walking and stuff going on, and I didn't really, want to have to use the bathroom nowhere crazy. So I didn't eat anything.
Not knowing where you were, what country was going on.
Yeah, so I kept it real light, like salads. They eat a lot of bread. They give you bread and chocolate.
But the
with
bread
everything.
over there isn't as filling as it is here. Did
I don't know,
you
Kenny.
notice that?
I don't.
Did you
I
eat the bread?
didn't eat a lot of bread, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't eat a lot of bread either.
Yeah.
But
when I went over there, it was like the bread is so good and fresh.
I guess
and
they give you small ones.
And it doesn't clog me up.
They're more like airy, I guess, because they're baguettes instead of just like full on bread. I guess, yeah, so that makes sense. But the chocolate was like OD. Had a great time. Beautiful.
I'm gonna make you laugh real quick. Wifey was like, she was on your snap. She was like, yeah, you ever? She said Monte Carlo. I was like, yeah, I want to get me a Monte Carlo. She talking about a car.
No, she was watching Sue Solo.
I got that a couple times. They was like, oh, you got a Monte Carlo? I was like, no, I'm in Monte Carlo.
I'm over here like, oh, the car.
And that ain't no quick getaway too. So big shout to Bay.
No, my God. Yeah, no, he did a great job. No, we'll never do that. We'll never do that.
All right. That's what I wanted to know, Caesar.
Put an X on the screen, Caesar.
Okay, all right. But it was good. That was
it was
a good
great. The
first
scenery,
vacation.
First real vacation where he didn't like have to work. We've taken trips and stuff, but he's always had to work.
Oh, so you've been doing this?
Yeah, we've been together for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys, it's not a secret. We always talk about this on the show.
No, we don't. We don't actually.
Not officially.
Yeah, we take trips. But this was the first the first time that he didn't have to work. So this was like a good. We had a good, nice time.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, love you.
Yeah, it is. Love you
we're
too.
protected over here at the Ball Alert Show.
Extremely.
Okay, great. Robert, we saw you on a little vacation too. I say little, and I mean it because it wasn't Monte Carlo.
This is my first. We went into Monte Carlo.
Yeah,
you know I'm a hood nigga.
But you did get some hurricanes again. I seen that.
Listen, my favorite team is Miami Hurricanes. You know what I'm saying? Miami Heat, then the Atlanta Falcons. Ever since I was a kid, for Father's Day, wifey bought me tickets to my favorite football team, Miami Hurricanes. So she flew me down to Miami.
That's beautiful.
We stayed over in Bell Harbor. It was super dope, nice and quiet.
And according to y'all snap, you was Miami down,
girl.
You know what? I'm always like that anyway.
Well, you was extra.
No, it was extra. It was extra.
You know what I'm saying? We Falcons down today. Rise up. You know what I'm saying? I got the Falcon socks on.
Did they win yesterday?
Yes, they won.
Okay, all right.
I've been waiting to wear these socks too.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm thinking about switching teams from the Redskins fully.
Yeah,
to the
come
Falcons.
on over,
The Falcons
man.
are already my second team too, but I'm just letting you know.
I need to understand how that happens.
Put my sneakers on the screen. I had the Miami Hurricane sneakers. They were Converse, but they were
Chuck Taylors.
You got to show them the video when you did your Florida boy thing. That little thing you be doing.
Put that video on the screen.
Yeah.
So you have it. Put that, you know what I'm saying? And then
Ball Harbor's not cheap too.
I had
So
my
big
bag.
shout out
No,
to
it's
Mike.
not.
I had my Miami Hurricanes bag. I had the shirt. I actually had on Miami Hurricanes draws, but I'm not gonna.
Okay, we don't want to see all that. Right?
I was all the way down from hat, shirt, drawers, shorts, socks, and sneakers.
And y'all really like won. Y'all.
Yeah, but it wasn't a big school, but
Oh, okay.
She did a good job. She picked the school that
Ball
she knew
Harbor was
gonna
expensive.
win.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that's not
Yeah.
that's not the bay side of the beach. That is.
And I had some red meat for the first time and got sick, and then I threw up $500.
I felt so bad.
It's all good.
Wait. So all that shit you showed on your grand looked delicious. That made you throw up?
Yeah.
But he hadn't had red meat in a while.
Right.
And I asked him, like, that's not the first thing you do. Like, if you haven't had red meat in a while, you don't get a steak.
I haven't had a bone-in a sirloin. I'm really a steak guy, but I haven't really been on the steaks as I used to. But it was a bone-in sirloin. Shout out to STK Miami South Beach.
That's where you were. Yeah. That bread there with that green sauce. Dear Lord, baby. Jesus. Yes, Lord.
I love
the
that.
mac and lobster was lit. Damn.
Oh,
it's all good. But yeah,
at least you got to
Did you get to have sex before you threw up?
Oh yeah, that's all. That's all.
Great. That's all that matters.
I ain't nothing but a squirrel. I'm a squirrel.
You're a squirrel.
Why you throwing
that means you're fast. That means you're fast.
Yeah, but we're gonna do it a whole bunch of times. I think we're gonna do it a whole bunch of times. It'll be about 5 rounds, boo.
5 little rounds.
It's 5 rounds. That's one long round if you really add up the time, baby.
Okay, well, Kenny, you was all the way in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like, what was you doing?
Yeah, I was.
It was busy here this weekend.
The real little pump. I was.
Whoa.
As long as we both cloud that's all.
It don't take long. And the longer you're in a relationship, the more you concentrate on getting yours too.
As long as we both cloud that's cool.
Do you realize that though?
I give you 4 a night.
But do you realize that though? The longer you are in your relationship.
You want to call? All right, we'll FaceTime.
Everybody calm down.
We'll FaceTime wifey right now.
No.
She working.
Chill out.
No, go ahead. You want to call her? Yep, he is.
Please put it on baller.
Bring that camera around here.
I hope she does not answer. I hope she does not answer. Please don't answer, sis.
I don't want you to know.
She know better. Yes, don't answer, sis. Don't answer.
Okay? If I wasn't like that, I would never say I was like that. You feel me? I would never say
Rory, it's okay. Jesus.
No, but she
We know you from Miami.
Damn, we know you from Miami.
Oh, she ain't answer. Okay, whatever.
Look at God.
Jesus Christ. Look at God.
I was gonna put it out there.
Okay, Rory. I was giving you the out right there.
Doing that up there.
Y'all believe I will call her right now.
Don't believe I called her. I made her come.
I'm saying that's
Baby.
Yes, baby.
I mean, if you're talking about with other things, yes, I can believe that. But you're not pumping 4 times.
I didn't even know what happened.
Sorry, I know. How do we get here? Okay, I'm sorry. Tell me about the weekend, because I was watching Atlanta and I was like, damn, Atlanta's on fire.
I wasn't in Atlanta.
Where was you at?
I was in Charlotte and DC.
You didn't host nothing for
Nah, I was out of town.
Oh, I was watching.
I'm sorry.
You just
I want to
promoted it.
apologize. I want to apologize to everybody who thought I was speaking at the Revolt Summit. I was promoting the Revolt Summit because it was coming to my city, and I launched Revolt. No, but I launched Revolt, and I was, I felt, I was a part of the team, and obviously
people wanted your presence there, though.
No, I apologize to a lot of people. I was booked and busy before it. So
it did kind of jump up on us, right?
It did come out of nowhere, and they called me late in the game, so I couldn't readjust and get on. So I apologize for those who came, but I had to go speak in Charlotte.
How was that?
It was amazing.
Charlotte loves you.
Charlotte's a great place to go and inspire. My friend Henry Kellum. Last year, at the same time, we had Les Brown, him, and myself, and this year was him as the lead speaker and as one of my mentees. I was super proud of him. He did a great job. Friday night, I was at the Howard Theater for the History Makers event, D Nice and I. And I had walked in, and politicians, they don't really just turn up. Just, you know what I'm saying, because they won't turn up. They have to be coerced to turn up. You know what I'm talking about? Because they don't want to get caught on camera because they might have a political future. But when Kenny Burns, D Nice show up, it's kind of unavoidable. You know what I'm talking
Burns
about?
a nice show.
Yeah, Nice and Burns show. So we, thank you for putting my name first, but he's older. So yeah, we basically gotta give the
Age before beauty.
Yeah, hello. But anyway, so we killed that joint. Brought Ronnie DeVoe up. They're about to celebrate 30 years of the Poison album, so we did the whole Poison routine with him, Roland Martin, and I. It was the weirdest shit ever, but it was fun. And Saturday night, we were at that world famous park at 14th. Man, it was a stone cold group. You just should come homecoming. I was gonna tell both of y'all that.
I want to come.
If you're not, if you're not booked the 10th through the 14th, October 10th, I will pay for to come if y'all want to come. Cause y'all got to experience, y'all got to experience that. But it was an incredible weekend. I got back yesterday. I did the women's wine and shoe event.
I saw that.
At
Yes.
the Grand Hyatt in Buckhead. First of all, big shout out to the Northside Hospital and their charity, because they do amazing events. This is my second time hosting one, but this one in particular was women, wine, and shoes.
I saw that.
And it was amazing. And they have like cancer survivors that come out and celebrate, and they have the many years they've been cancer free, and they have all these these things, and they have the wine. I mean, the wine was out of this world. I mean, they gave away packages to Los Cabos and Napa Valley and all these different places, but it was quite the experience, and I must say that I support them and will continue to do their events, because it was honestly an honor to see the give back. I think they raised like $25,000 plus.
Oh wow!
Yeah, whatever. So yeah.
So people like bought tickets to the experience?
They bought tickets. They had businesses there that you can auctionable items. They had different things. There was a silent auction. There was a public auction. That was the $25,000. They had a silent auction. So I think all in all, they probably did around $150,000 just in that seating. Yeah, it was a great look. It was a great.
I don't know what it is about silent auctions, but they always just seem so like upper echelon to me.
Yeah, because some people don't want to like put their thing out there that they spent $10,000 or spent $2,500. Because I think people, and I'm glad you said that, because at Jeezy's inaugural foundation joint, you had tiers. So if you want to do it at this tier, and so when you got down to the $1,000 tier, I think more people would have probably did it silently than publicly. Because I mean, after you say 10, 75, and 5, and you go down to 1,000, like that, I don't want to look like the one that ain't got no bread or ain't trying to, But I guess it's really what you can afford. You should never feel bad about giving to a charity. And ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for In Case You Missed It.
Just in case you missed it.
Just in case.
Ladies and gentlemen, Popeyes wants you to BYOB. Now, I just don't understand what the fuck is going on in society when a chain like Popeyes tells you to bring your own bun. Have y'all had the damn chicken sandwich? I ain't even had it. Is it worth bringing your own bun? I guess that's the first question.
I'd rather get Chick-fil-A, honestly.
Chick-fil-A better than me too. Than Popeyes chicken.
It's good though. It's not bad. It's not a bad sandwich.
I can eat the skin at Chick-fil-A. I can't eat the skin.
Yeah, I think that we talked about that, where the Popeyes one is just like the batter is thicker. So it's a lot of crunch that you get to before you get to like the meat of the chicken.
But some people like the crunch too.
I think it just depends on what you're going for,
Yeah, but bring your own.
I'm not bringing my own bun to nowhere, no restaurant. I'm not bringing my own bun. The fuck?
I'll just go to Chick-fil-A. You doing all
Might as well go to Chick-fil-A. Speaking of Chick-fil-A, this has nothing to do with Chick-fil-A actually, but LeBron will not own the trademark for Taco Tuesday.
Hell no.
Like,
why?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
because he's LeBron James.
LeBron James.
The video of the little boy.
That was hilarious.
LeBron James.
But yeah, Taco Tuesday.
You need to trademark that.
But would you not say that he made it famous?
no.
Hell no.
So you don't think?
No.
If you went to a
We've been doing that
viral,
before him.
Right.
who virally was doing it before him?
I mean, everybody was doing it at home.
I'm saying
Taco Tuesday is already viral.
I'm not arguing that. I'm saying who made it uber famous.
No, not him.
It was already
So
uber
somebody
famous.
else has a song
It was
that
already
they
a
made.
household thing.
Okay, so are you
Using LeBron
saying,
James
has
Taco
anyone had a
Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday video or something that went viral? Is that what you're more so saying? Because Taco Tuesday is already
Taco Tuesday's a thing.
Yeah.
It's already a thing.
So we're not saying that.
We're not saying
We're
that.
saying who made a Taco Tuesday video or something.
I'm saying who made it uber popular.
Oh, I don't know,
Not
because
LeBron.
Taco Tuesday was already
It's just a
uber
household
popular.
He just hyped it up.
I'm having Taco Tuesday tomorrow.
Okay, all right. I'm just fighting for the
Taco
good man. He
Tuesday.
tried to get a
Shoot,
trademark and he was
restaurants that on their
denied.
menu, they made it famous because it's like a Taco Tuesday everywhere.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially Mexican.
Taco Tuesday. All right, great. Ladies and gentlemen, Terrence Howard will be retiring from Hollywood after Empire. And yeah, I find that very interesting because he's a great actor. He's been in some of my favorite movies. And to not have him on the silver screen, I don't know how I feel about that. How do you
I don't think his retirement will last long.
He'll
I don't
be
think
bored,
so.
I think, but hell, maybe.
Hey, man, sometimes people need a break.
Hey, man.
Right. I think it's going to be a little break, but I don't see him like never being involved. I think he's going to either be like on the producing side or directing side. But I guess maybe if you're talking about him being on screen, then I don't know. I don't see that lasting too long.
I don't know how I feel though. Terrence Howard has a lot of dope movies.
He probably feels like he's not
When's the
getting
last
what he
time,
wants.
have you seen a real good black movie?
That wasn't like predictable,
Like an old school
predictably black.
movie, like
Yeah.
Boys in the Hood, like Brown Sugar. Like, when's the last time you seen like a classic black movie?
I think those are. Yeah, I like that question. I don't know. That's
I think
a great
Barbershop.
question.
Because that's what he's known for, like those classics, Best Man,
Yeah, but
Hustle and
I
Flow.
say that because if you look at like De Niro's and the, you know what I'm saying? Like I think he's like a De Niro to us. You know what I'm saying? So how do you like leave the game? Like I want you to be old as shit
and still
playing
like
those
Denzel
characters
and all that.
You know
But he probably, for all we know, he probably is seeking like different types of roles that he's just not getting.
Terrence, if you go out here and stop acting and decide to just sing, you know that's not going to work, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He's a much better actor. I want you to fulfill your creative dreams, but he's a much better actor.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Would you not agree? Hello?
What do y'all think about Jamie Foxx? Is he a better actor or singer?
He's a better actor, by far. Hands down.
Yeah, I
Blame it on the goose. I'm not hearing you.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like
I still like his music.
We're not pigeonholing anybody. It's just
Yeah,
I would say he's gonna pursue.
No, it was a
music
jokey
career?
joke. But he sings, and I just,
Yeah.
creatives need to be
not in real
creative.
life.
So I don't see
Jamie
him
Foxx,
not
I
being
think,
creative.
has great music and
He said
content
not
the way he
real
tells it, but
Chill, man.
I like him as an
Supposed to
actor.
catch that when you watch it back.
Yeah.
On the watch back.
No, Octavia is the producer.
She catches it all, honey. What do you mean?
Catching me, boy.
Speaking of catching it all, ladies and gentlemen, Arizona State Trooper arrested on 61 counts of sexual-related kidnapping and fraud charges. And the cold shit is he black. That sound like somebody else, like another. You know what I'm talking about? Like what? I don't know. I am.
He probably has white friends in the academy that do all that, get away with it, and he felt like he could do.
I was gonna say, it, but I'm
he
glad
felt like he could do, what his white friends get away with. So,
yo, let me tell you something though.
You always gonna be now. You the token black guy in those situations, okay? Like you cannot be a black man like, oh, all my friends are white. I'm gonna do what they doing today. You're gonna go down first.
Okay, but I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about this. I haven't heard of a story like that by police officers at all yet. I'm just saying. Do you think it's because he's black that he's outed? I mean, clearly he's done the crime. He should do the time. I'm just saying, Susan has a point.
As they all should.
Guilty.
No, he's really guilty.
I believe he's really guilty.
Susan's point was basically like you get that from your counterparts, but I haven't heard of anyone else with 61
It's a lot
counts
of
of sexually
European
related
people
kidnapping and fraud
that have done a lot of crimes that we have not heard about. A lot of them.
Because I just saw another black and brown police officer out of New York get charged for taking a 16-year-old or something. But then they went to the 16-year-old's page and she had all this promiscuity. That doesn't mean she needs to be, whatever they did to her, handcuffed. But I'm just saying, I'm starting to see black and brown. I'm not seeing any of they.
I think the police academy is like, okay, we have to make sure that we are, putting the bad guys out, like the bad cops out there.
Right.
But they're going to pick and choose like who the cops are. Yeah. So I think if it's an agenda to make it look like all the minority officers are the bad ones, then we'll forget about how bad the Europeans are.
Right. The Anglo-Saxons. The Anglo-Saxons.
Or they are the ones shooting the black kids.
Hello? Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
but
speaking
that's not
of Felicity Huffman gets sentenced to 14 days in jail for her college, for the college.
You meant to say in more white privilege.
Right, I said in they. All right.
That's the lady who was, if your kid, you paid her money and then she got your kid into USC, UCLA, and all.
No, she paid to have her
test scores.
Yo, it's all
to
ridiculous.
change her test scores. Yeah,
so they can get into the college.
Yeah,
yes.
But I mean, there was a lady, Tanya McDowell, who was homeless and she was staying at a friend's house. Yep. Well, someone allowed her to sleep at her house at night, but she had to be gone during the day, like a shelter.
100%.
And so she enrolled her child into a better school or a better district. And she got sentenced to 5 years.
5 years. That's crazy.
Where you do that at?
Of color.
She's black.
No, but this is my point, y'all. I'm glad you brought that up. It's like 14 days in jail.
And a $30,000 fine.
And you know the one, her co-defendant on the other side of it, the other actress.
She was arrogant.
No, but I'm saying, but she didn't get sentenced yet.
Nope.
But she did like $500,000 worth of
The crazy thing though, Kenny, the reason why I think she probably won't be sentenced as harshly as Huffman is because of her arrogance. Like she's like, oh, I did what I'm supposed to do. Like I'm rich. This is what rich people do. Like I pay my way. Like she's talking to people that think just like her.
She is well connected though.
She's well connected. So she's talking to people that are just like her, which is why she hadn't gotten sentenced
yet. And sometimes when you're well connected in that particular field, you may have some dirt on the judge.
Something.
I don't know if y'all watched The Family on Netflix, but at their prayer breakfast, she was there.
I'm gonna check out The Family on Netflix. But you know what? I want to say this, and I think it's back to your point about like we got another classic movie I think coming from Lena Waithe and the guy from Get Out about the cop that they killed. They on basically Bonnie and Clyde. But
Slim and
I haven't seen that.
What's it called?
This Queen
movie,
and Slim.
Queen and Slim coming out by Lena Waithe. Yeah, watch that. I just see times getting there though. I see times getting to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm scared. I don't know what y'all finna do to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I have a certain fear of police, even being 100% on the right side of the law in my life now. And when you watch the previews, he was scared. He didn't know what they was gonna do. And people are like scared of y'all. Y'all coming out here with 61 counts of sexual related kidnapping and fraud. Y'all killing kids for nothing. And what do y'all expect to happen? I don't know what they expect to happen.
Planting drugs on people, weapons, setting people up. I mean, it's.
And then you got a president who just is down with all the bullshit. I'm talking about all the bullshit. And so what happens? What happens? Something's got to give. The levee's going to break.
Yeah.
The levee's going to break.
Martial law. Don't get.
You know, I think they want that.
I need to look into a dual citizenship.
No, you know, I think they want that. I've said that. I agree with you, right? I think they want to. They want to turn up. They want to see because they got all the. Anyway, so we'll talk about that. Speaking of martial law, Antonio Brown was dropped by a helmet company after the rape allegations emerged this past week, and he also scores his first touchdown as a Patriot this week. So how do y'all feel about that? I want to start. So I think it's very convenient timing that these allegations came out. I'm just saying, I don't know that they are true, and I'm not speaking on the girl who's accusing him of it. I'm just saying, as he goes through this whole public turmoil with the Raiders and all this back, whatever, the week he signs with the Patriots, this comes out. Speaking of conspiracy theories, you know what I'm saying?
I think sometimes someone may want to come out with the allegations, but there's a process. You have to go through a mental thing, war with yourself, and then you have people trying to convince you not to do it, and then other people telling you should because it's right. And maybe it could have been a coincidence, or maybe it's a setup. Like we really don't know anything until the truth really comes out, if it does ever come out. But
yeah, well, I think, and also too, we saw him this weekend. His entire family was at the game, including his wife.
It's a good look. We all know about
I get it.
PR and all that stuff now. Nobody should be
innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
He was all smiles and happy. I don't know. I think he's quietly. I wouldn't say going crazy, but
just
I think
going through it. Going through the.
No, but I think there's some type of. I mean, this is where mental health comes in.
I was just about to say mental health.
Yeah, I don't think he's all there.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know much about him.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But you play football long enough, you get hit enough.
Got it.
So I think there's something to that. I just find it very strange that it came out the timing that it did when it happened, apparently a long time ago, and this, that, and the third. So, but again, to your point, people sometimes are suppressed in whatever way, mentally, people telling you not to do it. You never know what happens. So I don't know. I'm not accusing him. I'm not saying that, but I just thought it was super ironic. Yeah. To raise the point.
It is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vote Summit hit Atlanta, as young Susan Burns had mentioned earlier, and the most viral part of the weekend was the T.I., Killer Mike, Candace Owens, and Katrina Pearson conversation. And first and foremost, one time for Killer Mike. Yes. I think he's one of the most thoughtful human beings
for sure
in the world. And I'm saying thoughtful, like he does the research. He, you know what I'm saying? One time for Tip too, because I've jumped out there on Tip a couple times just with him doing things seemingly for benefit, but he was 100% rooted in his facts in this conversation. And we
need more of that.
We need more of that, and we need more of that from him too. And I'm glad Tip was ready for that conversation because I think with Katrina and with Candace, a lot of times it's like they were both saying things that made sense. And when you think about, and even Tip agreed with the whole justice reform thing that Trump's and Tip said this. He's done a lot of good things, and Trump has. But I think the rhetoric gets in the way of the accomplishments.
That's it.
We also have to keep in mind, who are these accomplishments for? That still is an issue. These accomplishments are not for us. So we're sitting here giving this man credit
justice reform is
for
And that's huge considering the black and brown disproportion in jails. I'm just saying.
I think it is, huge. But I think people like Trump have a good way of putting themselves in one spot so they look like something when they're really doing something else.
Okay, so these sisters, I want to ask you this question because you're a woman. And Octavia, feel free. Rari, obviously your comments are welcome. But Candace Owens and Katrina Pearson are clearly black women. And listening to this, did you guys listen to the whole thing?
No, I just got back
last
You need
night.
to listen to the whole. They're both intelligent women. Now, did they put their foot in their mouth? I think so, a lot.
Okay.
Right? Because I think it was Mike Ortip made the comment that
what has he done?
You can't basically make sense out of something that.
When he was asking about when America was great again. I mean, when America was
absolutely.
great. Yeah.
Name the thank you, Dream Team. So basically, he was basically saying she made a statement that he wants to make America great again, and he said what he said.
Which era was that?
Which era was that? It was great because it was never great for us, and so many. And then he also admitted to us being ahead of the curve, this generation, so forth and so on. But I want to just say this and ask you guys your opinion. From Candace and Katrina, they made a lot of points, and I want you to go back and watch it. But at the same time, they said a lot of things that seemingly were against us as a people. But where do you put them on the spectrum? You know what I'm saying? Because they have they clearly believe what they believe, but then it's going against what all of Black America feels, so to speak. Where do they stand?
I think a part of the problem in our community is we want to agree with everything that somebody says. Otherwise, we don't believe that they're for us.
Right.
But you have to understand that when you are ignorant in certain departments, you're going to be uncomfortable when somebody is presenting something to you.
Facts.
If you're not knowledgeable of like the history and all the facts, then you have a skewed perception of what the solution is. So I think the Black community really needs to open up and educate themselves before they get offended or upset at somebody.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, sir.
But I also think, it goes back to what Killer Mike was saying about, how everybody's arguing over who's masters who or whatever.
Right.
We just need to get on the same page. And that's why I think that panels, especially of color like this, are important. And we need to see more of it on our platforms like the BETs, like the Revolts, you know what I'm saying? Even the VH1, because, our people watch that the most.
But the problem is our people don't care enough to watch things that matter like that. Like the reason why networks are showing certain things is because that's where the viewers come in.
But even the whole Killer Mike thing, it went viral. You know what I'm saying? And if we continue to put stuff out there like that, certain moments will go viral and people will start to pay attention. But I mean, I think it was good. Like I said, I agree with Killer Mike as he said. Everybody's over there in their own opinion arguing about which master when we need to just kill the master and then get on the same accord.
Yeah.
But it starts with us.
Starts at home.
Yeah.
It starts at home.
Well, I think so too. And then Jay Morrison, I don't know if you saw the clip that he stood up and he basically was saying, okay, well,
we could have like a black party.
Yeah, he's like, what's our nationality? Like, who are we as a people? Like, if black people is a race, you know what I'm saying? We'll have to find it. What's our flag? What's our constitution?
Because he was even saying, that's how T.I. would say we can't even get reparations because we don't even classify as one race.
African American, so we're American, but we're, like, so I want to know what y'all think about
the name. That's what I was going to say. Think about the name. African American. Yeah. African /
So I guess the question is one more question to pose to you all. What in Baller Nation? What do you feel? Do we need our own? Like, are we? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with Jay.
I think we should have our own. I don't think there's anything wrong with us having our own, and I don't think that it means that we don't like other people or we are, anti this or anti that. Why can't we be pro us? And still pro everybody else.
Came here.
I'm with you.
They organize and they assemble. And I wanted to interject and just say one thing. Like, I think we as a people, we always be like to the word ignorant.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we should own that and then educate ourselves.
100%.
Every time someone says like, well, you're ignorant, we get so offended. We shouldn't be so offended when someone says you're ignorant to this.
You should want to learn.
So you should want to learn.
Yeah.
Because when you learn, then you can organize, then you can assemble.
I think a big problem too
calling
is
you ignorant. Like, can they give some light?
Sometimes the person who's calling you ignorant is ignorant too.
That's what I'm saying. Can they shed some light on what they talking about?
Well, I think also too, sometimes we have to remember that for us, our legacy doesn't start at slavery.
Hello?
And I think that's really a problem for us. Like, we're not
N-E-G-U-S.
We're not thinking about, the kings that were removed from their castles or their villages from Africa, or the people that had, rank back home and all that stuff. We literally start talking about slavery as if that is where
it started.
That's where it started. It didn't. We want to go back to where we were before then.
You're absolutely right, and that's why I think that all of our black leaders need to get on one accord so that we can all be educated. Like Tariq Nasheed, he definitely breaks that down in his series. I forgot the name of it, but he breaks down like where we come from, the kings and stuff like that. And he has it's a 5-part series thus so far, and he's still going with it. But just like him, the Killer Mikes, the T.I.s, even the Kenny Burns, everybody, I'm saying, our black leaders, they need to get on one accord, and we need to educate ourselves, help educate the masses, and get on one accord so we can start making progress.
Yep.
Yeah, and I want to say this too, and I like what the brother Jay Morrison said, because it is, if that's what you gonna do, then go all the way. Like, don't halfway.
You went to my college too, by the way.
Yeah, but my whole thing is, if you're gonna go, and that's a problem, like you were saying, like the education for us, we don't know.
We always be like, man,
it starts with slavery.
We just go walk away. Nah, bro, stay right here.
Yeah, but then I also think too, what we've done to build this country and how we've affected
built it.
This country.
We
and
built
it's like,
it.
so why let go? So I'm on both sides. Like, I think, well, shit, we built this motherfucker. Our ancestors died, went through all types of hell, unimaginary hell, to live here and be here. So we just gonna, what I'm saying? Because I think in the scheme of things, and what Jay and even like Killer Mike to a certain, it's like, all right, well, we gotta, or not, what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, okay, boom. If you went through my family tree, it's probably more white than black. I'm talking about down the line. So where do we, go? Like, clearly I identify and I am black. You know what I'm saying? I am an African American. I am from descendants from Africa. My point is, though, this country was built on the backs of our ancestors. We gonna just let it bang, and we not gonna fight for truly what is partly ours. And that's what, even like, because it was disappointing to me, one of the facts that Killer Mike said, like, with 15% and we should have 15, but I feel like it's more, like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's kind of a part of the issue too, though.
I agree those are facts, but I'm just like, it makes you want to fight more for what, what I'm saying?
I think that's a part of the problem too, though. Like, they didn't bring us over here to build it and make us equal partners. They literally brought us over here to build it and shit on us. So we keep thinking that we, morally, yes, we deserve to be here free, all rights. Morally, yes. But is that what the intention was from the beginning?
It was never the intention.
So we're sitting here trying to, like, demand something that was never the intent. Like, we're getting exactly what they want to give us.
But that's also,
so I think our angle just has to be a little different.
No, our angle needs to be different if we're ready to leave.
Yeah.
If you're ready to leave and go back where you're from and, claim what's yours, or live the life as kings and queens.
I don't think that's the only option, though, either. I think I think
if you're here, you take what's here. It's almost in the kill your master mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You use that's how they are. Yeah, like, that's what this country do.
Exactly who they are. And
so that's how you got to be.
That's what I'm trying to say. And so my thing is, like, nationalists. Our own nationality, our own flag, our own rules of government. But at the same time, this is our shit too. Like, this is our shit. And fuck whoever say it's not. Let's get them out the way. And that's what, it's drastic to say kill your master, but it's true. It's like, kill the mentality, kill, and at some
that's
point,
the master, the
and
mentality.
At some point, and even with Trump, we had this conversation a number of times.
It's almost like you're programmed, but go ahead.
We are.
Yeah.
And that documentary, by the way, is called Hidden Colors, and it's a 5-part. They just did, he just dropped 5, so, and it breaks down, everything about black and where you come from and the agenda on black people and everything.
Oh, so. But they do, and I'm sorry, Brian, but to your point, they do that. They kill motherfuckers that's in the way. And that's all, I just want to finish my statement on the kill your masters. Like, at some point, it has to be that if you are in the way of American thinking,
we'll move you out the way.
You gotta get them out the way. So I don't know. This is a beautiful conversation.
Put the little boys on the screen that run towards each other and hug.
I know that video is so
boys,
cute.
The black boy and the white boy, they run up to each other.
Oh yeah,
And the white boys.
And that's another thing. I'm glad you said that. I refuse to give up on some white people though.
It's taught, yeah.
No,
I refuse to give up on some white people.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. This Miss Stossel was my neighbor. It's crazy. I was in my hometown. I showed wifey, and I said, "This house let me understand that there are white people that
are good people.
Yeah. I went in her house. I'm black. I ain't light skinned.
You're not black.
I mean, but I'm brown.
You toasty.
got good hair, nigga.
I'm clearly brown.
You a little toasty.
Yeah, you a little.
But she brought me in her house. She treated me like I was her son.
Yeah, no facts. I get what you're saying.
You know, the food wasn't all that good. But
it was different.
It wasn't seasoned right.
Different. You know, she put raisins in the goddamn potato salad. Like for real, motherfucker. But we ate potato salad. I was hungry. I ate that motherfucker. But I'm just saying, she's the reason why I can't be racist because I remember growing up.
All white people ain't bad. And
she was cool as fuck.
All black people ain't criminals.
I mean, you do have that. You did have abolitionists. That's how we was able to get some people free.
She treated me like I was special. I was over here like, damn. I just felt. We hugged. All that shit. My mom ain't hugged me like that.
It's like Amanda still says. There's white people and then there's some people who, white that happen to be white.
The dog slept in the bed. You know.
I agree.
That just happened to be white.
The dog slept in the bed.
Hey.
I know, that is disgusting. By the way.
No, well, I believe in that.
See, dogs. Yes, dog. Hello, let's not go down the dog lover.
I know. We're not trying to have people in the comments tearing us up.
Kiss the dog in the mouth?
Yeah, you're going to let it just lick y'all in the face and come talk to me?
All that shit.
I do.
On my face. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Kanye West, and I love that conversation. And Baller Nation, please feel free to continue the conversation socially. We'll join in. But Kanye West brings Sunday service to the A, ladies and gentlemen. And I posed this question last week before we look at please put the camera on.
That's the one thing I'm sad about missing. I ain't going to lie. I was having a great time in Monaco, but I would have loved to have been there.
But I'm going to tell you something.
I love Kanye.
I'm going to tell you something. This is a fact, young Octavia Burns. This is a fact. The boy is a motherfucking genius. And he trying to give back. And the way he's going about it is genius. Because one thing black folk know is church. And if you've been to an experience or witnessed it, young OCT, it ain't nothing about nothing but feel good and the glory of God and fix it. You know what I'm saying? And fix it. It's a fix it moment. Why you go to church? You want to fix it. You want to be reminded that what you believe is true.
You want the word.
He wasn't at church listening to the word.
You want the feeling.
He wasn't listening to the word.
It was the word. Every song had the word. That's the purpose.
You said he's trying to fix it like he's there to fix his life.
He is trying to fix it.
I'm saying he wasn't there listening to the word. He wasn't there listening to the pastor.
Can you answer this question? Are you bipolar?
Am I bipolar?
Yeah.
No.
So you have no clue.
I haven't been diagnosed with it.
You have right. None of us are. We all got HDAD. But my point is, I don't suffer from bipolar disorder. Susan doesn't suffer from bipolar disorder. No one in this room does. So how can we know what it's like to deal with that? I had an offline conversation, and that shit, I'm telling y'all, that shit is real.
It's very real.
Again, nothing against the people that suffer with that. Like I said, but time and time again, that is just not my cup of tea.
Right, but have you gotten more good out of Kanye West than bad?
I don't know. I don't listen to Kanye West no more.
Okay.
But wait, can we all agree that the bipolarness came after his mom passed away?
No.
He wasn't bipolar before.
No,
that's a.
We don't know that.
I know that is a lie.
He may have already been suffering
Kanye
with some
West
stuff.
Kanye West is the same person that came in my Rockefeller House 2005, 2004. Sits down and tells me how his life about to be. He the motherfucker that when the Harlem Church Choir wouldn't approve or whatever.
Genius. I get it.
No, all I'm saying is he's been that way. It just has been amplified because of social media. He's been that way.
When you go too far, you try to backtrack.
But it's not about going too far, it's pushing the limits. When a motherfucker says he's Walt Disney.
When a mother ever says, I put this hat on and I feel like a superhero.
It was something about when I put this hat on, it made me feel like Superman. You made a Superman. That's my favorite superhero. And you made a Superman cake for me. Oh, I love you.
I know. But I don't want to put you in that spot. But.
No, I'm standing in that spot. I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here. I love this guy right here.
That's really nice. Come here. That's really nice.
I love this guy.
Can I ask you a question? Do you remember when the Yeezus tour started?
No, I don't remember when the Yeezus tour started.
Let me just tell you. When the Yeezus tour started, he had a jacket with the flag on it. Right? The what's it called? Confederate flag on it.
I remember that.
When I was sent the merch, I was like, why the fuck would you put this on a jacket? He's like, I'm taking it. We now own that. I took it off my jacket. I put a. I
remember.
Why you take it off
jacket,
like that?
and I put an eagle over.
Why you take it off?
Because I would never wear the Confederate flag. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I am way more versed on the South and the way that shit makes you feel.
Never be.
All right, do y'all think that black people were calling each other niggas during slavery when nigga was such a derogatory word?
100%.
But were they saying it as like, hey nigga, what's up? Or was it like, you was a nigga? Like trying to talk.
In this damn house.
I think both.
Both.
You think both? Okay.
Well, if you call something,
my grandmother, God rest her soul, she grew up and we had family members that, you know what I'm saying, had situations like that, and she, from what the story she was told, she said it was both.
Yeah. Well, the house nigga would call you nigga in a demeaning way, like nigga get your, and then you be in the field. I'm sure you be like, nigga, this shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole nother offering.
Damn.
It's a whole nother offering. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what you think, Sue?
I can agree that it was both, but I think before it was both, it was one. You know what I'm saying? I think somebody decided to let me go ahead and change how we use that word, and I think that's what Kanye thought he was going to do with the Confederate flag. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that maybe he thought that it's like
failed at that.
Well, real Africans knew the word.
But just like going back to what you said,
which meant completely different.
But I want to fuck y'all up. Okay, so niggas
totally not derogatory at all.
It was never derogatory.
Never derogatory.
But my point is, they came from Africa here, so they knew the word. Would you say?
So
maybe that was some internal.
I don't think second generation did. I think first generation maybe.
Okay, but my point is
motherfuckers was being born.
Okay, but my point is maybe the white motherfucker heard niggas and may have called him nigga.
Probably
maybe
like,
I'm
just they
I don't know.
No, you're probably right. Like they still
maybe so.
Yeah, but again,
so we take it back is my point, and we use it for the original meaning.
Yeah, so you're saying it. You're saying it to them, but you're nigga. I owe you.
Come on, that's a debate, Baller Nation. We want to know, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time for Baller Man.
Message.
Hey, that was a clip for your ass, nigga. Hello? Hello? Niggas.
Y'all gonna have all the Africans on this one.
Hey, y'all. This shit right here, nigga. Hey. Okay, we put it right there. Put it up. This shit right here, nigga. Okay. Kenny, Sue, and OCT.
Oh, shit.
Dear Ferrari, I am pregnant by a guy that I was casually dating, and he's pushing me to get an abortion because his girlfriend is also pregnant.
Ghetto twins.
Damn.
Word.
I've been casually dating an ex-coworker for about 7 months. This is very detailed since she watched the show.
Okay, thank you.
All the details. I've been casually dating an ex-coworker for about 7 months. We're not in a relationship and never been. I just found out that I am pregnant, and his response wasn't what I expected. Prior to the pregnancy news, whenever we talked, he'd mentioned that he doesn't have any kids and how he wanted a baby, which is the reason why we weren't using protection. It wasn't a planned pregnancy.
Sound like
and
me.
if it happens, it happens type of situation. Well, it happened, and now he's suggesting that I have an abortion. After speaking to him why he thinks an abortion is the decision that's best, he tells me that he has a new girlfriend who is also pregnant, and they've made a decision to keep their baby.
Ooh, that hurts.
I also have a 10-year-old daughter, so this isn't my first rodeo. I also wasn't anticipating having a baby right now, and I was still right now I was and am looking forward to the journey. I feel as though if I were to go through with an abortion, it would strictly be out of respect for him and his new girlfriend, and because of me having to deal with the shame, embarrassment with this being my second child out of wedlock with another uninvolved father. I know if I make the decision to keep the baby, although he obviously doesn't want me to, I'll be raising another child alone, which I'm prepared to do. I just feel selfish in doing so because he's not the type to just let me do it alone. But I'm sure it will cause tension in his family that he's creating with his new girlfriend and resentment towards me for not terminating my pregnancy. I also think it's unfair for him to be excited about the baby he's having with his new girlfriend and pushing me to abort mine. What advice would you guys give me? Please.
Okay, first off, think about yourself, boo.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds like a pattern, and you need to reevaluate your life and your life decisions.
100%. Her trying to say that, you know, she's basically trying to insinuate that she's being considerate of his other situation, all that is BS. Like, don't worry about that. Don't think about that. Just think about how you got yourself in this position, because for you to say that you guys weren't planning to have a kids, but you did not use protection for the sake of possibly having a child, then you knew that there was a really high risk of that. You also knew that you already had a child out of wedlock and
you obviously wanted to give the man this baby because, like you said,
you knew it.
Yeah,
you knew it. He talked about he doesn't have children. He doesn't have any children, and that he wanted to. So you guys made a decision. You both made a decision not to have sex with. You guys made a choice to have unprotected sex. Okay. So in you doing that, you ran a high risk of getting pregnant, and you did. And the reality is, I do sometimes feel bad for men, and maybe not in this exact situation, because he knew what the fuck he was doing. He was having sex with 2 women unprotected. You wrong. But it kind of draws up this bigger thing where it's like men are sometimes forced to be fathers when they don't want to be fathers. Like, it's like, I'm telling you, I don't want this child with you. I'm telling you that. And you're gonna have this child and call me a scumbag and all this shit because I'm not present. Now, morally, if the child comes, I do think that you need to be in the child's life. But I can understand the quarrel in that. Like,
yeah, I can
understand that.
Sis, I really need you to do some soul searching and you know, with your decisions, because just like OCT said, it sounds like patterns, you know, and you should never ever feel okay with a man telling you that he's having a baby with another person but wants you to get rid of yours. Well, okay, well, you had sex with me, you shot the club up,
you was telling me that you want a baby,
you wanted to have kids, and now we pregnant.
But it's something wrong with the women that are just okay just giving men love children.
I'm not going to just give you a love child. That's what I'm telling her. Like, you have to be more in tune with yourself. I mean, you made the I'm sorry, your 10-year-old happen. We're going to call that a blessing.
For sure.
Because you never know what the baby going to be.
Yeah, hello? And the second time, you got to be more responsible with your actions, and definitely more, you know, have a more of an understanding with your partner if he's telling you things but his actions aren't lining up. Women, you just got to do better by yourselves. You know what I'm saying? You can't depend on a man to have you in mind. You know what I'm talking about? In the planning of it all. Because some of these...
They're going to take what they can get. Everything they can get from 100%. Everywhere. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. If he can get a little bit from here, a little from there, he's going to take it. And even if you giving it.
Even if you do decide to have the baby, I would, focus on yourself thereafter, because it seems to me like she's a people pleaser. Because she's trying to please him, and now she's trying to please the couple. And just X herself out, not even worrying about herself. I would just focus on myself, even if you have the baby or not, because your mental health comes first.
Yep.
Period. And your whole life is about to be about selflessness, or continue to be about selflessness, because you already have a 10-year-old.
Right.
So if you had this baby by yourself, basically, you are going to. So you got to be selfish when it comes to you.
A lot of this, I think, has to do with just like healing in our communities. Like, why are there so many women willing to be in these positions? Like, there's definitely something wrong, and we need you to feel that self-worth and love so that you won't put yourself in this position again. But it is very complicated, and I hope you make the best decision for you and your current family, so you don't repeat this, and your children don't have to see this happening. Like, people have to remember, having a child isn't just having a baby. Like, do you know this person's family's medical history? Like, you don't know anything about how this child or what this child is at risk of. Therefore, putting yourself in a whole new position. Like,
yeah, it's just.
I love you though, sis.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's not too late to get right with yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about, and not set yourself up for these types of things going forward. You know. That's a big.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a burden.
Yeah, so anyway, we wish you the best.
Yes,
Keep
ma'am.
those baller mails coming to young Rari Simmons, and we'll be sure to give you the best advice we possibly can. And now it's time for comment creeping.
Playing from it 4 times. Creep.
Yes. All right,
Shit,
so
Rari.
I actually need you guys
We need you to
comment
yes.
on this situation.
We're
I'm
here
going
for
to
it.
read to you guys what the awesome Ja Rule tweeted, okay, just shortly. He said, I will be releasing all of my albums as visual albums. I will be making a video for every song I've ever made. Then he asked, what songs do y'all want to see videos for? Now this kind of makes me happy because I just remember Ja Rule, like Murder Inc. being like the soundtrack
music,
of
though?
my
That's for all his albums.
old stuff.
He already did.
That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna redo them. That's what it sounds like, according to this. I mean, initially he said, I will be making a video for every song I've ever made, but then he asked, what songs do y'all want to see the videos for? So I'm hoping it's really not like every song
Because
that he's
it's kind
ever
of hard to
made.
top like a Hype Williams type video.
For
He
sure.
has some amazing videos,
And the time
but
frame that
I
it came
could
out.
see him making a story out of it. You know, when you think about like everything
Tales?
bleeding into each other, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, Tails, right? His boy is
cool.
doing it right now.
I would love to see it happen because that was definitely the soundtrack of my middle school,
I like
high
that song he did
school
with Kate.
situation.
I mean, I think it'll
Wanna
be
be without my baby.
I think it'll be dope if he come out, going with new music and then having like the whole story thing. Because I think visuals are the way. But I think it'll be dope if he just starts from the new stuff because the old stuff is just like
the old stuff is still good, but
It is, but I don't wanna
everything
mess it
old
up.
is coming back right now, and I think what he's trying to do is modernize the videos,
But I
like
think
modernize how people look at it because
exactly.
right.
I like
think
that.
that's what he's trying to do,
But I
and
think if I were
like
to
that
hear
approach.
the old stuff, I want to hear it like in a biopic or like in a movie or something like that. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
how about this, OCT? I like that too. But how about this? And you got to pay the Ball Alert Show if you use this idea. How about, how people go to Vegas when they get older, right? Or they go to these casinos around
Get them residencies.
No, they do. But what if he theatrically created? Because I mean, you can't front on the hits. The hits.
You
is
cannot.
hits.
Yeah, like do a play.
Yeah, instead
That'd be
of
dope.
videos, because videos don't make sense, like you said.
Yeah.
What you gonna do to Hype Williams? What you gonna?
You need to check for that.
You know what I'm talking about?
That man is trying to get that streaming
But
check,
this
y'all.
you could do this forever.
Yeah.
If you created this
You
thing,
got
that
those
people
hits.
gonna come see that every
Every week.
we gonna
Definitely, I agree with that too. But like even in the Straight Outta Compton movie, you know what I'm saying, when they played those hits back and you got to see like that time frame, it was just like the nostalgia just came back and you like, dang, I got to go back and listen. So I would say like in a movie, because they doing the Murder Inc. Biopic or something like that too.
That would be cool.
But I think certain things like Murder Inc., and this is no disrespect to Irv or anybody involved with Murder Inc., but Murder Inc. ain't Bad Boy. They had hits, but you don't feel you're associated with the lifestyle like you did with Bad Boy or with Death Row. You know what I'm saying? Like those.
I can see. No, but I can see what he's saying. I think Bad Boy like portrayed a whole lifestyle. It wasn't just like I have artists and good music that I'm pumping out. It was a whole lifestyle.
Technically, the first urban record label, like I'm talking about urban rap.
Yeah.
like
But you know,
real rap,
Yeah, but I'm saying-
they had a lot going on in
They had-
Bad Boy. They had Biggie, you know what I'm saying? They had
Yeah.
the Death. They had
Craig
all
Mack.
that stuff going on.
The only thing
And on
Irv-
Death Row, they had Tupac who was going in and out of jail.
Snoop.
You know,
Yeah.
Snoop, Dre. You know, it had so many elements on Murder Inc. It was like a feel good because you had Ja Rule and Ashanti basically.
Well, the only thing they had was the problem he had association with Supreme.
But that was
out of
at
New
the
York
end.
in the trial. That's what I'm saying. But that was the only thing.
That's what yeah.
You had like in the beat
That
with
we knew
50 Cent.
about, yeah.
So my whole thing is you had hit records
That came
without
at the end.
question.
Yeah.
Beef came right at the
Dominated.
end.
No, I agree with that. I agree with
So-
that because
yeah.
they had more so feel good music. Like Bad Boy and Death Row was kind of like you was on the
That was
journey
gangsta
with
shit.
them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it was city to city, and it was like I think, we're all on the same page. I think it would be better served for Ja if he created a business model for it and took it like a play.
I think he's looking at all this streaming money these young cats is getting. Is like, damn, I missed that in my time. Let me see if I can
physical sales
catch up to that. Nope.
Yeah, the
He's trying to
streams
get
and
them streams. That's
But
what it
there's
is.
people like you that grew up in middle school, like me, that was in it. Like you love the music
Over
you
and
would
over
go
and
see
over
it.
again.
If you had, I mean, think about it. I don't want to go to Circus or So Late every. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to. I mean, in Vegas, if I could see the Ja Rule hits, and you had Terrence
do that in
Howard, who's
Atlanta?
Divorcing Hollywood, or other people in it, that would just be a great look.
I think they should do that in
That'd be
Atlanta.
Yeah.
They should do it somewhere black.
I think so too. I think everything should be in Atlanta.
I agree. I think everything really black should be here.
I was having this conversation with Puff, and I told him, like, yo, you need to bring Revolt to Atlanta. I said it does nothing for you being in California. Being in California is cookie cutter, really, because there's no culture. If you want to talk about black culture, I'm talking about 360 degree. It's Atlanta. This is the black Mecca. And to have your pulse on the little nudies and all these little things coming. You need all that shit at the beginning. Here. Revolt should be the speaker box for that if you're the speaker box for culture. So
watch how I go
to
crazy.
Atlanta. I might come back and run it with Andre Harrell. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for Confucius Says. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to your well-being, you have to be selfish. I think a lot of times we put people before us in the wrong situations, for the wrong circumstances, and definitely for the benefit of the other person. And, you know, this young lady that hit us today with the baller mail, I feel bad. I really feel bad because you were engaged in a relationship that you probably didn't even realize that you wanted more than the other person. And then you come to a point where you're now pregnant and you can't get what you want ultimately out the situation. The blessing is the baby if you have it. Other than that, it's going to be turmoil, you know? And I just think we got to put ourselves first, man. When we're in these relationships and we're having unprotected sex and we're out here doing the grown up, you got to know that there's shit that come with that. And you got to make sure your partner is in the same mind space that you are, because I see too much of this. And I'm clearly getting older, and I'm very much more passionate about our people being whole, because whole is the goal. You can't be out here just playing, because that's not real life. Playing gets you in trouble a lot of the time. And I'm talking about the kind of trouble that you can't handle on your own. So please, Baller Nation, be selfish when it comes to you, because being whole is the goal. We love y'all. See you next week, ho. Next week, ho.
That was aggressive. I know, that was so aggressive.
I wasn't talking about her. I wasn't talking about
the trail on the screen.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about
Now you just gave a nice word.
I mean, that was
Baller alert!
The dream is real.
What made you pick me?
I liked your picture.
What?
You had this sad look on your face. I felt sorry for you.
Damn. So what happens tonight?
Did you think we were gonna have sex?
Nah. No. I thought we were gonna hang out, maybe get to know each other.
You're swerving a little bit back there. Go ahead and ask you to step out of the vehicle for me. Get on the ground!
Are you serious?
Why is he under arrest?
Just chill, just chill! Get back in the car, you're going to jail too!
What do you want?
I want to ride or die.
Cop killers, cop killers.
It was self-defense.
There is nothing back there for us.
Yeah, we're in the Black Bonnie and Clyde.
Is this y'all?
Power to the people.
I ain't gonna bend the world. As long as my lady remembers me fondly, that's all I need.
Can I be your legacy?
You already are. I think everything is destined.